Hello, High Point. My name is Andrew. Today I'd like to share some thoughts on Matthew 20. In this chapter, we see Jesus in the final days of his ministry spending time with his disciples, contrasting what the world says and what God says. In the story of the workers of the vineyards, the world says the landowner was unfair by paying some who worked all day the same wage as those who worked only for 1 hour. God says, I am the landowner, and I choose to give grace to anyone who comes to me for salvation, regardless of where they are in life. Because we all deserve death, but God is trustworthy and good and gives us life. In the next story, Jesus predicts his death for the third time. I don't think the disciples get what Jesus meant by the kingdom he was setting up. The world wanted Jesus to set up an earthly kingdom. Jesus was setting up a spiritual kingdom in heaven. Next, Matthew tells about James and John's request, where the world says, find a way to the top so others can serve you. Here, James and John are seeking to lift themselves up to prominence and power in Jesus' new kingdom. But Jesus flips it around on them. He first reminds them that with greater leadership comes greater service and greater sacrifice. James and John accept the role, and James becomes the first martyr of the Christian faith. And John spends his life proclaiming Jesus as Lord and finds himself in prison and exiled for most of his long life. In the final story of this chapter, two blind men receive their sight. The world says, give the leaders some space, protect him from the riffraff. Jesus says, let the hurt, injured, sick, and poor come to me, and I will make them whole again. Matthew 20 is such a great chapter. Thank you for taking the time today to jump into God's Word. Have a great day.